Hello, my name is Elia, and welcome to a brand new series of Victoria 3. We're currently on patch 1.7.6. I have exactly one mod installed, and that is the extra top bar info. But we're going to be, as you probably guessed from the thumbnail and all that, we're going to do another attempt as a Korea. We did a run as Korea ages ago. I think we're going to take the economic dominance as the at least give a bit of a guidance on what to do. There has been quite a bit of updates since the last time we played, but that should be fine. I mean, admittedly, I do not have basically most of the DLCs, but we should still be able to have a decent bit of fun regardless. So we'll be taking that. The game rules, and we're going to quickly just double check. Yeah, we don't have Iron Man enabled, but that's fine. I think the settings otherwise are going to be okay. Pretty much the default, so let's just hop in there, shall we? The economic dominance, so we've got a few goals in this. We're going to be playing mostly tall. We might conquer a little bit. I'm not going to limit myself just to the core areas in here, as I did last time. Although, technically speaking, we did do a little bit conquering in Japan, I believe. Yeah, the goal is to surpass China in GDP. Whether it's Great Jing or Heavenly Kingdom that takes over, regardless, we need to surpass them in GDP. We can conquer some land from them. We will hopefully try to get independence as well, but that is not necessarily the main goal. Although, admittedly, since we're tributary, we are paying a decent bit of money to them, so if our GDP grows a lot, their GDP is also going to grow a lot alongside. So it's going to be tricky, so getting independence could be quite handy. Also, one more limitation, since now there is the ownership of the different buildings. Like right now, I believe all the buildings are more or less owned by the various estates, like well, mostly I suppose the manor houses really right now. So another limitation that I'm going to impose on myself is that I can still build the resource and urban buildings and agriculture buildings, but I need to put them for sale within a year of them being built, or basically as soon as possible. It will give us a bit of money back, admittedly. We can still do a bit of guidance on what we want to be built, but then at the same time we don't really need to be quite as hands-on on the construction work, although one of the things that we know we're going to need a lot is bureaucracy. Because if we have a look at our budget, we're currently missing already 17,000 in unrealized taxes, because of the tax capacity not being high enough in most of our states. But first of all, let's go through the decrees, shall we? So we're going to encourage manufacturing in our capital. We're going to encourage agriculture in the two southern ones, and we'll go resource on the two northern ones. And then we've got still a decent bit of extra authority, so what we will do, we'll go ahead and boost at least intelligentsia. And maybe the... You know what? I'm going to boost the rule folk, really. It's going to allow us to get maybe rid of some of the bad laws. Right now, the armed forces does not like us. For whatever reason. I'm hoping that that will change, of course. Oh. Right, the landowners actually support the dedicated police force. That admittedly will need a lot more bureaucracy then, which could be a bit expensive, but we can probably get that started. It's going to take a while. What we're going to do in terms of research, I suppose I'll start with that. I think we're going to go with the cotton gin. Then in society we'll take the... Well, it depends on what starts spreading in there, I suppose. So we will be going like alternating between the three categories for the most part, just to get as much as possible. We'll try to get a lot of the research done this time around as well. Last time we didn't quite manage to get all the text done. I don't think we'll get those this time around either, but we'll give it a go at least. And then in terms of construction, I think what we are going to do is... Oh, we already started with one in our capital, okay. We'll put one in the north over here, actually. So that will be done, and let's have a look at the... So in terms of politics, let's see, interest groups. So we've got traditionalists, more traditionalists, and reformers. Okay. Right, well, we could probably go ahead and get a bit of a larger government then. Could even get all three of them. Don't know if that's going to boost... Oh yeah, that's going to be quite nicely boosted. Alright then. Let's unpause, shall we, already? So we'll see what is actually getting built. Oh, a paper mill is already underway. So we'll get the construction sector. Then I might go ahead and build a government administration of you. Just, you know, get a little bit of the extra taxation going on already. It's going to take a while, but perhaps that's going to be alright. Then one of the things that actually I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure to keep our relations with our overlord relatively low. Just so that they can't, then, if we have a look at the overview here, our Liberty Society is currently going down. I suppose we are quite reliant on their economy, mind you. Ah, right, so, academia is spreading. That is going to be really nice. That's going to unlock the universities. We can build that, or several of those, and then we can get the innovation going up, so we can get all of that. It's also potentially going to increase the, well, I suppose not necessarily directly the literary rate, but what it does do is allows people to get a better education, thus they can make better jobs. Once we, you know, have jobs available, they get better pay, and thus their literary rate will start going up. So in that regard, it's going to be quite nice. Let's put the paddle steamer there as well. I suppose Lathe is going to be the number 4, or the third one in the queue. We'll get those underway. Right now in the market, of course, tools are in very high demand, so that's something that we'll probably try to get built. What is the private sector doing? Paper mill and a tobacco plantation. Okay, no foreign builds yet. That's alright. I'm going to try to increase the construction speed a little bit. Technically speaking, what I could even do, but I suspect that that might be a bit expensive, is I could switch to the better construction speed in general, I suppose. Could go to iron frame buildings. It would reduce the wood use a little bit, but it would increase the iron use quite a bit. But I'm going to do that, actually. It might be a little bit expensive. We've got a fairly good amount of money right now. Oh, Lord, progress to consideration already. And that's probably going to cost us a lot. But that's the reason why we got the construction sector underway, and then we'll immediately start building some more government administration, because we will need those. But that's going to allow us to get to potentially up to 20 construction speed already. Admittedly, it might take a while. Hold on, is it? Oh, no, it's 15. Oh, wait, no. It should be 20 total, but it takes a while for them to hire the people, of course. Alright, then. Yeah, they're currently hiring. Very slowly, mind you, and the tool price is going to be pretty high. Now, admittedly, in Yangzhou, we should be building a little bit of tool workshops, probably, because that is a really good place for our mining. So that is something that we'll definitely prioritize. We can also do a decent bit of mining in the north over here, in Guambuk, which is one of the reasons why we are actually doing a lot of stuff there. And then over here in our capital, we can also get some iron mines there, so that would allow us to do a lot of tool workshop, or tools. Yeah, we'll go with tools. We can produce a lot of tools there. Currently, progress adoption already. Okay, so this is going to be probably the fastest law passing that I've ever had. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Our military currently is only 30 battalions. And it's not initially the... Well, it's only a regular infantry right now. We can't upgrade that to light infantry yet. Nor do we initially want to. We will probably... Well, we will have to build up an army at some point. We don't actually need to start with it. I think right now, more important is just to get the... economy in order and try to get the taxation sorted out. Maybe build a little bit more industries and such. That being said, the states should not be owning too many. There's a nationally owned building. Is that? Let's see, building registry. I've not actually used this one before. Oh, wow, we've got a dedicated police force. Now we've got a bit of a lack of bureaucracy, but that will get sorted out. Those are government buildings. There's all of the government administrations are government buildings. Oh, there's the shipyard, okay. Well, I suppose we do need to go ahead and open that for those, as that is according to the rules that we impose ourselves. So it will enable privatization. Now, it might not get purchased anytime soon, but if it does, it will increase the throughput anyway. So we do want to keep the things sort of as effective as possible. It's a duel. Petit bourgeoisie and intelligentsia. You know what? We should probably ban the dueling. It's going to make intelligentsia a bit happier, and thus prestige is going to be slightly better. It might not have a huge impact. Now, we are currently losing a bit of money, but that's mostly because of the lack of bureaucracy. That is quite a significant... oh, yeah. It's quite a bit of a problem there. But yeah, we should be fine. We do also have a little bit of potential for increasing some consumption taxes. We can probably put the liquor tax in. We'll probably put a tea tax and a porcelain tax. Now, is there any buildings that we can actually upgrade in any way, shape, or form? Right now, I suppose the rice farms, we could go for the fruits and a bit of sugar. Don't know if we will need a lot of those, but we could do that. We could go for the butchering tools, but at the same time, the tool price is too high to actually do that one. There's a lot of glass, and I suppose, yeah, we'll get the market squares. It might increase the cost a little bit. Slightly less transportation, actually. But the better employment, at least, so we'll do that one. The fishing wharves are already using trawlers, so we don't need to worry about that. So yeah, there's not too much to worry about. I do like the fact that they added in the all category in here, though, so you don't need to go through different tabs to see what you need to, but it can also be useful to have the tabs if you want to find something specific, and you know where to find it rather than going through the entire list. But yes, thus far... Oh, there we go. Now that we are getting the bureaucracy up and running, I suppose there was a bit of a gap in construction costs here, which means that the actual expenses were slightly less. But yeah, the bureaucracy down here is going to be very much needed. We still have about 60% penalty on tax collection, so it's going to take a while before we can sort that out, I reckon. We do have more loyalists than we have radicals, which is always nice. And the GDP is already 4.4 million. That's actually a bit better than I expected. And did the shipyard get sold already? Or purchased? No, not yet. But at least we have opened it for sale. Now, whether it gets purchased or not is an entirely different thing. I think it eventually will be. And we should be getting, I think it's 150? Yeah, 150,000 per level. So there might not be enough money available in the investment pool yet. Or there might be, but it's divided between different areas, I suppose. So the people might not want to buy, or might not have the money to buy that yet, really. I'm sure that that'll get sorted out soon enough. So, yeah, the paper mill in... it's actually in the southeastern corner over here. Okay, so that's getting built. Where's the plantation? Oh, that's now a capital. Well, that's good to know. I don't know if it's going to be very... Well, I suppose there's probably going to be a little bit of demand for tobacco, right? Oh, yeah, there is. Now, is there actually any foreign investment yet? No, not yet. Okay. And we'll hopefully be... Once we get the 2 more government administration, we will have the bureaucracy more or less sorted out. So at that point, what we can probably do is we can probably let the private sector take over the construction for a brief moment. Until we all figure out what we really need to build. Now, to be fair, getting more iron mines would be useful. But we would also need to get a tuning workshop, so we might let them build at least a paper mill, because that would benefit greatly from a bit of extra construction speed. Because we are now at 20 per week. We could always, admittedly, once we fix the taxation, or at least the bureaucracy, and thus the taxation problems, what we can probably do is we could build up another... Oh, wow. Oh, Jing is already at war. Well, I guess, right, this is, yeah, Britain fighting against Great Qing, and they are presumably in this war wanting to get the, yeah, Hong Kong and some war reparations. Which will definitely hurt the Chinese economy. I don't know how our economy is going to fare during this war. I'm pretty sure that our standard of living is not going to be all that great for a long while. But we'll try to improve it. So we did get the one law change already, the police force. That will reduce radicals a little bit at least, although right now it's not very high level. But rather the state penalties from turmoil, I suppose, yeah, there's a little bit less radicals. So that's good. We may need to increase the bureaucracy quite a bit. Is there actually what institution? No, that's the only institution that we have right now. And there's not a lot of laws we could change. Maybe the professional army, but since the landowners oppose that, admittedly, we do want to reduce their power. But right now, it's a little bit tricky. There's the National Guard as well. We don't want to go away from appointed bureaucrats right now, because that extra taxation capacity is just, it's a must right now. Oh, there we go, making a bit more money. We did get another, oh yeah, government administration built. The bureaucracy shortfall is dropping quite nicely, and the cotton gin is going to be done in 8 to 10 months. Now, luckily, since we are a tributary and not a vassal of Great Qing, we're not pulled into their wars. So at least we'll have a slightly better time of it, I reckon. But the tool shortage in the market is quite substantial. So I think what I'm going to do, I know that we will need to sell it, but I'm going to go ahead and build one tuning workshop in here. and then we'll sell it. But it's probably going to be very high in demand anyway, and it will, over time, it will probably increase quite a few levels. But that's going to be very, very crucial to make sure that the mining over here is working fine, because we'll have some local production for tools. So that's something, I don't remember if that was already a thing in the previous playthrough. It's been a while since we touched Vicky 3, to be fair, on the channel. So, apologies for not remembering everything. But yeah, so local pricing means that it will probably make it a lot cheaper to produce, well, especially do the mining in here. And thus, it's going to be a lot of good stuff from that. Is there... I don't think we have any logging camps here. No, we don't. Okay, how's the wood... well, there's the hardwood is pretty high in demand. Comparatively, although the actual demand isn't that massive. Opium is in massive demand, which, you know, I suppose that tracks. Opium wars and all that. But there is a bit of shortage for mana wars. There's no, right, no one's making those ships. Ooh, resource boom in Quambok. Sure. Is there actually... There's no resource production in there yet, which is a bit of a problem. Or a bit of a shame, really. Not really necessarily a problem, but a shame for sure. I'm pretty sure, population will probably be increasing quite a bit over time. Like, I think last time when we played Korea, we called it like 40 million or something like that in the end, which is not bad. I think we were like in the top 5 in terms of population, or maybe at least in the top 10 for sure. I think actually right now, if we have a look at the ledger, go through population, we are already relatively high. So there is that. And of course we need to get, oh right, increase iron mine over here. Well, I suppose I could build that myself. I can then sell that. But that's going to give us a bit more boost for the tooling workshop and iron mines and all that. But those two, they've got a nice synergy, let's be honest. But after that, we'll of course have to sell those. We'll get a decent bit more money out of it, mind you. And actually, right now, we've got quite a good cash flow. So we could potentially build up a bit more resource production, or the construction speed, rather. I'm going to build one more of these. I'm going to make sure to build the government administration first, because that was already almost completed. And then we're going to get to 25 total construction speed. We'll probably try to get to like 40 in a relatively short span of time. But after that, we'll make sure to let the economy grow on its own a little bit as well. So there we go. That's a bit more bureaucracy again. And thus the taxation is going really strong, actually. But then I suppose soon-ish, we should be getting the academia. And it's going to unlock the university. We'll probably start with 2 levels in our capital. Then probably at least 1 level over here for the Jiangzhou. And then, of course, maybe 1 in Jianghu, because this one's going to have a lot of government administration, which is going to require a lot of bureaucrats. So we need to have people that are able to do that job, to be able to then keep that building running without having too high of a cost. Now, we will also probably need a lot more paper production. We do have, actually, do we have more than 1 paper mill? No, that's being built. No, we don't have any paper. So we've got a lot of class works, but I suppose the class price itself is not very high. In fact, we'd probably, well, the bone shine is going to require quite a bit more stuff. So we won't really get to that point. Oh, yeah. Hong Kong's been taken. And how's Jing's GDP? It's got about 80 million. So they've got about 20 times as much as we do. And of course, we are probably going to be largely industrializing our production, so that is going to give us a quite good GDP, at least GDP per capita. Right now, of course, is nothing particularly good. It's 0.24. So we're number 215 currently. Although in GDP, we are number 16, and Jing, I believe, is the number 1. So I suppose we can double check that from the ledger, can't we? Yeah, Jing is the number 1 of individual countries, of course. Our standard of living isn't particularly great, mind you. But yeah, so that's going to be alright. We've got plenty of money, which kind of means that we could potentially even lower the taxes for a while, but I think that's going to be a bit too much of a reduction. So I'd rather not do that. Did the shipyard get sold? No, it is still in our control. Alright then, well, at least we've put it for sale. If no one purchases it, that's not a problem. That is something that I was prepared for. And there is the cotton gin. So, okay, 16 to 21 months for the academia, and after that we can get the universities going. We got the bureaucracy now sorted out, so while we are actually losing a tiny bit of cash, it ain't too bad. Now, to be fair, we did also increase the construction cost quite a bit. How much are we actually paying for construction? Good for... Oh, construction costs £50,000 per week. That is quite a bit of money. Oh, and it's already fully employed in here. Excellent. I'll try to get at least a little bit of construction on each one of the states, but of course, right, actually, how's the... Right, the paper mills are going to be 5 more weeks away, which means that it will be actually completed before the tooling workshop. One of the things that I probably could do is to... No, there's nothing that I can do in there yet. We will have... so Korea is very nice to play in Wiki 3, though, because it's got sulfur, it's got coal, it's got some whaling for some early oil, it's got lead mines, it's got iron mines, a lot more coal, and then there's basically everything in here, actually. So it's got good resources. It can also grow silk, which means that you can do a lot of luxury clothing. Speaking of which, no, we don't have a textile mill yet. I'm sure that will be built soon enough, though. So there's the paper mill. That is owned by financial districts in the state. Oh, wait, no, it's a financial district in our capital, actually. Oh, interesting. So it's pouring in more wealth down this way. I should probably go ahead and improve relations with Japan, just in case. And the radicals and loyalists are growing pretty much the same speed. We do not have any diplomatic movements yet. I'm sure that will change soon enough, though. The literacy rate hasn't increased too much yet either. The standard of living, I think, might be dropping a tiny bit. But of course, we are getting at least a little bit more stuff. Now, luckily, with our laws, we do not have any slavery. But we do have serfdom, which is not exactly ideal. We're isolationists, so we can't do any trading ourselves, and we're traditionalists. Luckily, we are in the Jing market, so we can benefit from Jing doing some trade. Although I think they might also be a little bit of isolationists, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're mercantilists. Okay. Oh, anti-British society. Right then. Face knows no borders. We're Korean first, Confucian second. I think we're going to take that one. That's going to make intelligentsia like us a bit more. And we don't want to keep too good relations with Jing, just in case, you know, I suppose our liberty is already dropping, but we can try to keep that as minimal as possible. Could declare an interest in, you know what, I'm going to declare the interest in, I'm going to put it on South China. Because if and when we can do trade, and if Hellenic Kingdom breaks out again, which it usually does. We're having too much gold reserves right now. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and reduce some of the taxes. That way the people can be a bit happier. We'll lose a little bit of the excess money. Once we get down to like 500,000 again, or somewhere around there, we'll... Oh! Who purchased this? Oh! Oh, okay. So the Chinese own that one now. Okay. Well, at least it got sold, but that also explains why we suddenly got quite an increase in money. Okay, the amount of radicals went up quite a bit, I suppose. Standard of living might not be the best currently. Right, we've got the tooling workshop. We'll go ahead and use the raw tools, and then we're also going to go ahead and enable privatization. It was immediately purchased. Alright then, well, we've got plenty of money then. I suspect that this one's going to be making a lot of cash for us. I mean, immediately, right now, they are hiring very quickly, actually. The iron price is a bit high, mind you, but I suspect that that's going to be improved with the extra iron mine. And I suppose once that is done, we could either probably try to get a textile mill or something. Because I suspect that the textiles or the clothing, there's a decent bit of demand for it, and especially the luxury clothing would probably be making a lot of money. Alternatively, more tooling workshops could be very handy. Just to sort of go full in on that one. There's also a decent bit of, well, demand for clippers right now. There's a bit of man of wars. Is that purchased? No, there's a military shipyard somewhere. Guangdong. Oh. Alright then. But yeah, tools are in so high demand that I would think we might go ahead and just build another one. Although right now, well, we've still got a decent bit of extra cash, mind you. I think we'll probably build one of those in our capital. Oh, we could get a food industry. That could actually be quite important. I might build that in here, though, because this is going to be a larger producer of crops and all that anyway. So we'll get a food industry down there. Oh, they're building another paper mill. Oh, so they are. Well, I suppose if there's a high demand for paper, there's a decent. Hey, production increased. So we got the iron mine built. I'm going to go ahead and enable privatization. We'll get even more money. It's going to be 100,000 from that, and I think it may be purchased pretty quickly. Might not be instant, but soon. The next goal for us is to have a level 4 steel mill, but we don't really have a lot of things that require steel currently. So it's probably best to not go too far into that. There's a cotton plantation being built in the southeast, which is fine because that is going to be one of the agriculture areas anyway. And the paper mill in our capital, that's going to have the 20% boost from the encouraged industry. So that's already pretty good. And how are the iron mines low? They are already fully hired, and the local price might not be too bad, but the Qing market price for iron is still quite massive. So improving this is probably going to be within our interest. I do have the 20% boost for it as well, so it's got 21% right now. It will be like 22%, I think, once that has been sold. But I do wonder, actually, that... No, it wasn't the paper mill, it was the shipyard. Yeah, they do have the +1 from there, because it's owned by private sector. Right, we are only 4 to 6 months away from academia. I suppose one of the things, once we start getting a bit more ships and all that, or like industry and all that, we'll probably build a bit of a fleet at least. Because that's an easy way to get a bit of, I think actually that might be one of the, or used to be one of the ways that you could get a lot of interest to declare. Don't know if that's still going to be the case. Our liberty side is still dropping. I can't do too much about that, to be fair, but other than, you know, strengthening our economy a bit further. Which currently we're at 4 million GDP, which is not that great. We did start with slightly higher there, but that's fine. We're still, well, it's actually slightly less than 20 times. Only 29 at a point. I don't know, 7 times. So it's basically the not 29, 19.7 or somewhere around there times the GDP. We do have a lot more radicals now than we have loyalists, which I do not really like, but there's not too much I can do about it. The standard of living is still kind of dropping, but the literacy rate is at least improving, so that's good. And the population is definitely on the rise. But once we get the food production, is there actually any groceries being produced yet in the market? I don't think they are. So we're going to have kind of the monopoly on that, and thus we'll probably get a lot of money out of it, because it usually is very much worthwhile. Putting the sweeteners in there for sure. I don't know if we really need the pot stills, because I'm pretty sure that the alcohol is quite numerous already in here. Yeah, there's over 1,000 extra. So we're just going to focus on the food production, on the food industries in here, at least for now, and that most likely will still make quite a good amount of cash. Because we will be selling that at some point. Did we actually manage to sell the iron mine in here? Not yet. At some point, hopefully. But just not yet. I do actually wonder. So the financial district up here, they're having some problems. I suppose the paper mill down there is not making a huge amount of cash right now. Yeah, they have no cash reserves whatsoever. But the food industries will be underway. Oh, listen. Devour Scandal. You know what, we're going to force him to step down, because that might give us something different for the... No, still traditionalist by the looks of it. Oh, wait, no, that was... Right, okay. Abolitionist in charge of the industrialist, okay. Gold depleted in West Borneo, that doesn't really concern us too much, let's be honest. So right now, the groceries aren't selling for too much. But there's not a lot of production going on yet either. But I suspect once there is availability, people will prefer to buy the groceries rather than just the wheat or whatnot. But of course, we do need to enable privatization, because that is according to the rules of this playthrough. They might not be purchased immediately, but I suspect that as soon as there's a bit more availability of that, it will eventually start increasing a lot, I reckon. Right now, the balance is just not very high, thus the production is fairly small, and the availability of the... Oh, there we go, there's Academia. Availability of the stuff is not that great. We're still... Oh, wow. Right, since we're not building anything ourselves. Right, so we're making a lot of money. You know what? How is the investment pool? It's going down a little bit, okay. Don't have any industries up here. And I'm pretty sure that the rice farms might not be hugely profitable. Oh, we just got the... Oh, right, we can start building the universities, of course. Right, let's go ahead and start with 2 levels in our capital. Then one over here. One over there, and then maybe one more in the southeast. That's going to be 5 levels total. That's going to get us to 60 innovation. Actually, I suppose we can queue up one more up here. So with that, we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.